Good day everyone, Trainer Maxim with you. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. Today we're going to learn about geometric mechanics of the shoulders. We're going to learn how to move our upper arms in a way that would help us with the shoulder mobility overall. Of course, as always, before we start, I want to say thank you to everyone who supports my channel. Thank you so much. Your comments, suggestions, your donations, super thanks are greatly appreciated. My support angels, thank you so much for your help. And now some of you are taking part in my course, The Fundamentals. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing this. And I'm happy to see that you're enjoying it, that you are active in the community hub, that you're asking questions, posting videos. That's fantastic. Keep going. I will be there to help you with your journey. Now, let's talk about the shoulders. Geometric mechanics of the shoulders. It does sound very intimidating, but it's actually very simple. As a matter of fact, we have already covered this topic, this object on the hip mobility, geometric mechanics of the hip mobility in my previous video from the last week. Please check it out if you hadn't had a chance. It will help you understand today's topic, and also you will learn a couple of things about the hips. But let me briefly cover the main theory. So now, what is geometric mechanics? See, in the first place, when you think how to interact with the objects around you, whether it's a bench or a ball, you need to decide what force to apply and in which direction. And in order to help your body decide which force and in which direction needs to be applied, in the first place, your brain, your central nervous system, needs to know the shape of an object, the geometry of the object. For example, this ball. This ball is round. Your eyes are seeing the round shape, and you know from your experience, you learned it very long time ago, that the balls, they roll, the round objects roll. So your brain will design a specific motor program how to activate the muscles of your body in order to create a specific force in specific direction. For example, I want to push my ball forward. So my biceps, my triceps will come up with a routine and do this, one. So that's very simple, that's intuitive, just because I see the shape of the object. Probably I would not be pushing on top of the object if I wanted to move the object forward, right? Because it's counterintuitive, it goes against the geometry of the object. It will not be moving in the direction I want, because the shape of the object is round. So round object would not roll forward if I apply the force from above. That's why I push. The same with my bench. Say I want to move the bench in that direction, the same direction. I will not be pushing on the bench like this, because I know based on the geometry of the bench, based on the physics of the bench, mechanics, that force I generate in this way will not be simple enough. So I will probably do something else. I would get closer, use my knees as support point, use my both hands, put my torso into this and pull. So see how the brain designed a different motor activity for my body. Different muscles got engaged, muscles of the back, core, hips, and etc., supported by the other muscles across the body, developed a force that I applied in the same direction, but in a different way, in order to move the bench. And I'm successful with the bench. Well, the same is true for our body. When you want to move your leg or your arm, in the first place, it's a very good idea to know how they are shaped, especially the joints. If you perceive or don't know simply the structure of the joint, how it moves, then it might create a challenge for us. For example, you don't know in which direction the door can be opened, and you grab the handle, and instead of pulling the handle towards yourself, you're pushing it against yourself, but you don't know that the door needs to be away from yourself, but you don't know that the door needs to be opened by pushing towards yourself. So you're not going to be successful with opening the door, just because, not because you're weak, not because something is wrong with your muscles, but because simply you did not know the mechanics, the geometry of the door hinges, how they operate, right? Or shall you pull on the door in the upward direction, you would not open any door because it goes against their mechanics, against their geometry. So with the body, it's the same thing. We really need to know how our joints are shaped inside, especially the hips and the shoulders. And the shoulders are very mobile joints. So it is crucial to really know the shape of the shoulders and the form of the shoulders, the form of the shoulder bones, how they rotate inside the socket. not really socket in case of the shoulders, but inside the joint. And based on that knowledge, your brain will be designing better, more efficient motor algorithm on how to move the arms without injuries, without damaging the structure of the shoulders. Because often we actually move the arms against the arms geometry, against the arms mechanics. What it means, I will explain later. So now let me remind you the structure of the shoulder joint. The shoulder comprised of 3 bones. The collarbone, I don't have it here, but it's here. The blade, the scapula, and the upper arm. So that assembly of 3 bones are called a shoulder. Today we're going to cover the topic of how to move the upper arm inside the joint of the shoulder, because I already have done videos on the shoulder mechanics, on the spinal mechanics, in order to explain that the shoulder mobility in the first place depends on the stability of the spine, because the shoulder blade is attached to the spine. So in the first place, we need to make sure that the muscles that are running the shoulder blade, they have some stable structure to hold onto while they're manipulating the blade. And that stable structure, stable base, is the spine. So in the first place, we need to make sure that the spine is stable. And I do have videos on the spinal mechanics, neutral spine, and etc. So the spine is stable. Stable spine is accomplished by using the muscles of the spinal column. Once we got good control of the spinal muscles, we can stabilize the spine. That's great. Now, after that, we need to take under control the muscles that are attached to spine blade. Those muscles must ensure the proper position of the blades while we're moving the arms. So now spine is stable. We're learning how to use the scapular muscles responsible for the scapular stabilization and scapular activities, such as upper trapezius, serratus anterior, all those things. Open shoulders, we talked about this. I do have a video on the shoulder mechanics, open shoulder mechanics, and etc. So for the good shoulder mobility, we need also to know how to stabilize the shoulder blades, how to run the shoulder blades successfully. And the final piece of this puzzle is how to properly move the upper arm. That is the third part of the shoulder. We figured out the spine, we figured out how to run the blades. Now we need to figure out how to move the upper arm properly in the joint of the stable scapula. So today we are not going to talk about how to stabilize the scapula or how to stabilize the spine. We're going to talk about how to move the upper arm properly inside the stable scapula, inside the stable joint, inside the open shoulders, because often improper movement of the upper arm might ruin or disturb the stability of the shoulders and efficiency of the shoulders, efficiency of the spine. And so we go. Let's learn about the arm. Here's the arm and here's the blade. And generally it's attached like this. So this is the shoulder blade, this is the arm, and you can see how our humerus, the upper arm, is having that awkward ball sitting on top of the bone and angled at 45-degree angle. So in a way, they kind of attached the ball here and fused it with the bone of the arm here, just like we have in the hips. But in the hips we have a socket. In case of the shoulders, we don't have a socket. It's essentially a flat, bony part against which this humerus head sits and rotates. Now, very important thing. There is something interesting about this structure. You see, let's say if I stabilize, if I grab the bone like this here, if I try to lead the movement of the arm from the perspective of the upper arm bone itself, see what's going to happen. Let's say I'm bringing the arm strictly sideways. 1. And you see how this ball is exiting the socket, but it actually can't exit the socket. It's an injury. If you try just to move the arm forward like this, 1, then this surface of the head is facing out, but it can't face out because it must face its surface all the time. The same is true for the front movement. If I fix it here and if I want to move the bone forward, 1, the head of this bone wants to get out of the socket. Even when I rotate the bone, internal external rotation of the upper arm, famous rotator cuff activity, right? We perceive that external rotation, let's say this is my arm, is done this way. I'm externally rotating the arm. But see how the ball wants to rotate as well, because by design it's fused with the bone. And if the bone rotates, then the ball rotates. But we can't do this. So the ball must stay always in the socket, inside the joint. So from that we can actually conclude a couple of things. We definitely can say that we should not accommodate the movement of the arm from the perspective of the upper arm's bone. We should lead the movement with the movement of the upper arm's head, because this head must in all cases, under any circumstances, must stay facing its designated surface. So let's say if my finger represents that surface, the middle of the humerus head should always face my finger in the middle under all circumstances, because if it does not, if you try to push it out somehow, you're causing the damage to the shoulder joint. So we must ensure that at all time this head is staying inside, not inside, but staying, let's call it inside the socket. And also we can see that any movement of the arm, whether it's forward or sideways or anywhere else, is impossible to be done without the head of the humerus moving around, rotating around. You see how if I move the arm that direction, that the ball of the arm, this direction, that the ball of the arm moves back. If I move the arm back, then the ball of the arm rotates forward. To make it easier for you, let's say this is the humerus head attached like this. This is bone. So I'm holding it like this, and say you want this upper arm go that way. Then the ball will rotate where? Back. 1. If I want the arm to be moved back, then the ball will rotate forward. So see, if we start leading the movement of the upper arm from the perspective of the ball, of the humerus head, then we will be meeting its geometric requirements. Geometric means the shape of the arm is like this, the shape of the scapula is like this, and if you lead the movement of the arm from the perspective of the humerus head, then you're not breaking its geometry. You're not pushing the door in the direction in which it's not supposed to be pushed. You're not going to break it. So, for example, if you think arm is going up, so then you think rotate the ball backwards. And when the ball rotates backwards, then the surface of the humerus head faces its designated joint here, and everything works just fine. And you move it back, rotate, if you want the arm back, rotate the arm forward. And that's it, that's quite simple. So 3 things here. We must not lead the movement of the arm from the perspective of the arm. Second, we must ensure that at all time the humerus head stays within designated surface inside the shoulder joint. And third, the movement of the arm is not possible without rotation of the ball around its axis inside the humerus, inside the shoulder joint. So those 3 things. And it's safe to say, based on these 3 things, that we must lead the movement at all time of the upper arm from the perspective of the humerus head, from this tiny ball, just like we do with the hips. If you want to move the arm forward, then you picture this ball that sits inside this stable blade. Very important. Let's say I want my arm to be going forwards. Then I'm rotating the ball back. Back. Good. If I want the arm to go down, I rotate my ball forward. Forward. This direction. Forward. And go back. The dilemma with this thing, actually we have quite a few dilemmas. The first dilemma, that this perception might disturb the shoulders. Often when I ask my students to think that the ball rotates forward to move the arm back, they do this. One, see how my entire shoulder floated forward. In the hips, with the hips we don't have this dilemma because hip joint is not as mobile as the shoulder joint, but with the shoulder joint we do have this dilemma. So when we rotate the ball inside the joint, we must make sure that the ball rotates inside the stable blade and does not go forward with the blade. So the blade must not do this one, but rather this. See, that's why it's very important to take under control the spinal stability, so that we, based on the spinal stability, can take under control the scapular stability mobility and run the scapula successfully. And based on those two things, we can learn how to move our upper arm properly. Because again, if you just perceive that when the ball rotates back to move the arm forward, like this, and the shoulder in general goes back, one, then that will destabilize your movement. That will destabilize your handstands. Shoulder must stay stable. Or if you perceive that the shoulder ball rotates forward, rotates forward to move the arm back, one, with the shoulder getting this way, that there are chances of injury actually, because, just refreshing your memory, see those two bones here on the shoulder joint, kind of like knives sticking out. So imagine when you rotate, when you move the arm forward like this, one, and the shoulder is losing its stability and collapses forward, dragged by the muscle activation in the front of the body. So we have this situation, one, and that sharp bone collapses forward and sinks into the tissue of your biceps, into the connective tissue of other muscles and nerves, and that might cause the shoulder impingement. When you move the arm move the arm up like this, and the shoulder blade, especially with the arm elevated, collapses forward, that this sharp bone simply sinks into the soft tissue of the biceps, and we feel that pinch. In order to avoid this, again, stable spine, stabilizing the spine, open shoulders. How we do open shoulders? Remember, we use the serratus anterior that pulls the scapula forward. We use the lower trapezius to tilt the shoulder back, upper trapezius to keep the shoulders a bit elevated, again in my video. And based on that stability of the blade, we are running the movement of the upper arm of the humerus from the perspective of the ball rotation. You want the arm up, ball rotates back. One, rotates, rotates, rotates. You want the arm to go down or in this direction, then the ball rotates forward, 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 but not with the shoulders collapsing. Very important. So we lead the movement of the upper arm from the perspective of the rotation of the humerus heads inside the stable shoulders, inside the stable scapulas. The only thing now we need to decide is which angle to choose to rotate that ball. I know, sounds kind of interesting, but have a look at this. Let's say this is a very giant humerus head. This is the end of that bone, and the bone is attached here. So if I choose to rotate my ball, let's say back, to get the arm up in this angle, then the arm will go strictly up in front of my body. But if I choose to rotate this ball still back, but in this angle, kinda, then the arm will go up, but in this angle. One. And if I choose to rotate my ball back to get the arm up, but in this angle, this trajectory, then the arm will go this way. And the same is true for the other direction when you move the arm down. So you stand tall and you want the arm forward, then you picture rotation of the ball back in this angle. One, good, it goes up. You want the arm to go sideways, rotate the ball back, but in this angle. One, this way, turn the ball mentally, it's all mental activities, and back, done. So that would help you move your arms more effectively, because in case of the brain, when you have your mind not in the right body part, then the brain might devise not a good motor pattern. Let's say you decide that you want to move the arm up from the perspective of the upper arm bone. Well, the brain activates right away the front deltoid, because the front delt is responsible for that, right? And in your motor activity, the front delt is dominant and activates in the first place, front delt. 1, forward. And my arm got stuck here. I just can't move it higher. I'm quite flexible, but my shoulder collapses and etc. Because simply the brain did not include other shoulder stabilizers in my algorithm, because I instructed it to move only the upper arm up. But if you place your mind into the ball of the shoulder here, into the humerus head, then the brain will design a different, more sophisticated motor algorithm. That would include the proper activation of the rotator cuff, activation of the blade stabilizers muscles in order to facilitate the rotation of the ball inside the stable shoulders. And yes, the front delt will be in that pattern, but it will not be dominant muscles. It will be accommodating the rotation of the ball back. And see the difference, let's say from the front. If I just think arm up, arm up, arm up. And for the handstands, we don't really like this space between the head and the ear. And shall we try pushing the arm close to the ear? You're still not going to be successful with these guys, even if you shrug. Because your mind is not in the right place, and some muscles in that motor activity are missing simply. Now have a look at this. I'm thinking, okay, I'm not moving my arm up. I'm just rotating my ball, my femurous ball, back, and see what's going to happen. 1. And now I have no space here. My shoulder is elevated. My blade responded accordingly. I feel that the range is much further back, almost in one line with the rib cage, versus from the side. Just arm up, arm up. My arm is not in one line with the rib cage. I can't move it simply because I place my mind not in the right body part, not the right perception. And I know it sounds very trendy body-mind connection, but actually the muscles are run by the central nervous system, by the nervous system. Your brain, based on the knowledge, based on the visual perception, designs the motor algorithms you need to, in order to move your limbs. And if your mind is not in the right body part, or not the right perception, or you don't see the movement in the right angle, then the brain will come up with simpler motor algorithm that would not include muscles that we might need in order to facilitate better mobility, in order to facilitate better movement. And in our case, it's the movement of the arm. So I really want you to try moving the arm from the perspective of the rotation of the ball. Rotate the ball back, it goes in front of you. Rotate the ball in that angle, it goes this way. Rotate the ball in this angle back, it goes this way. And especially when you do side movements, that's very interesting. See, when you're at the gym and you see people do the side delts with the arms locked or not locked, and they're driving the movement with the upper arms kinda, then it feels a little bit awkward. You kind of feel that you're stuck here. If you move the upper arm in a strict direct way up, leading with the upper arm. Why it's the case? Well, it's again down to this structure of the joint. See this roof? Remember those knife-like bones? If you just think that, okay, I'm moving the upper arm strictly sideways like this. 1, and you get stuck against this thing, against this bone. And also, in addition, your humerus head wants to really get out of the joint. So that feels uncomfortable. 1. See how the surface is getting out of the joint here. 1. If I just move the arm strictly sideways, strictly in this way, sideways. I'm not kind of faking it, but the arm can't behave this way. Remember that according to our principles, this guy must at all time face its designated surface. So now you know that. How would you move the arm in a different way? Well, simply you'll be trying to first keep the ball on its designated surface all the time and rotate the ball slightly back in order to allow this movement. Slightly back and up. And this is your up. And you're not getting stuck against this ball due to the shape of the ball here. You see how on this side, the bone is straight, almost one line. So it will not have room to clear that, that other bone of the scapula, like this. One, and you get stuck, you get injured. Stuck, you just a little bit uncomfortable here. Of course, it's not going to kill you from the first time, but you do that 100 times or 200 times with the weight, you will start feeling some pinching sensation here. Supraspinatus muscle and other guys will be squeezed. Versus, if you accomplish this side movement through the rotation of the ball, trying to keep the surface of the ball on its designated surface inside the joint, then it will look like this. Slightly rotating, 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 and up. And see, because you slightly rotated the ball this way, you turn the ball the way that would give you this surface here. There is a recess, kind of semicircular shape here. And that semicircular shape will make sure that you will not come into contact with that ball, with this sticking ball, with this imperfect design of the scapula, let's call it this way. So you have room. And on the way down, you're thinking ball rotates forward, 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 and down, and you will be much better off. So, for example, compare this movement strictly sideways. One doesn't feel actually okay and forces me to squeeze the blade or collapse the shoulder forward or do this or lean forward, versus now I know that I want to move the upper arm from the perspective of the upper arm's ball head, like whatever the name is, and you go rotate it slightly back this way, back, 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 and this way here, back, and you see how the arm is not really moving in a straight arm, but it does awkward things slightly back and forward and up, back and forward, so rotate it back, and you will be feeling much freer with the joint. So one more time, look at the movement of the elbow. This is your elbow. Compare, try to pay attention to this end. See if I move it strictly sideways, how the elbow moves. Stuck, moves in a straight line towards you. Versus if I do that through the rotation of the ball slightly back, then it goes like this, like a wing. Slightly back, up. So the ball rotates back, that brings our arm slightly more forward before it goes back up. Slightly more forward before it goes back up. 1, 2, and 3. And now with this movement, I feel much stronger. 1, I can really hold it. I feel the strength here. I don't feel any impingement in my head. I keep rotating the balls back, 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 back. Versus if I just do this straight here, it feels super awkward. I don't feel any strength in my hands. Those are 5 pounds. I can barely hold him. I can barely hold them there. I feel that it's actually challenging for my arm here. I feel awkward sensation in the joints. So today we're going to try to learn how to move the arms, how to do simple, basic upper arm movements from the perspective of the movement of the humerus ball, just like we did with the hips, including the movement of the arms in the back. Same situation with the back movements. You want the arms to move back in a straight line, you rotate the balls forward in this angle. 1, forward, sideways, rotate the balls forward, the humerus head forward, but in this angle. 1 behind, rotate slightly in this angle. 1, 2. Push-ups, pull-ups, whatever. You just need to decide where you want your arm to be. Arm here, rotate the ball back. You want to grab something in the back, rotate the ball of the arm forward in an angle back. And that will make all the movements of the arms safer, because now you're moving in accordance with the upper arm's geometry. And based on that perceived geometry, the brain will come up with the better motor algorithm, activating muscles in a different sequence and activating more muscles to support it, because around the shoulders we have a lot of muscles to engage, rotator cuff muscles especially, other guys, and in many situations the injuries of the shoulders are not due to the inability of your rotator cuff muscles to do internal rotation. No. In most cases, external rotation of your arms are just fine. If I task you with the individual external rotation of the arm, you will do just fine those exercises. Yes, they might be hard, but you will be rotating them often. You'll be doing those exercises. But it's just that external rotation, just like with the case of our hips, it needs to be incorporated into a more sophisticated algorithm of the arm activity. That internal rotation needs to be a part of the movement of the arm in order to continuously accommodate the movement of the upper arm in that or another angle, in order to facilitate the situation when the ball tries to stay on its designated surface inside the joint. So in other words, it's not the point to do the external rotation right away and bring the arm up. So you must not exhaust the external rotation right away and leave the arm, but rather allow that external rotation or internal rotation, if you need it, to happen gradually through the entirety of the movement, in order to accommodate the trajectory of the bone of the upper arm that is moving in accordance with the shoulder joint geometry, with the shoulder joint mechanics. Otherwise, if you just do those internal rotation before the movement, then it means that you exhausted the full potential of the external rotation, and your brain has nothing to work with during the movement in order to facilitate the movement of the upper arm, and you start moving against the structure of the shoulder. You start developing forces that would be pushing the upper arm bone into the scapular bone, causing physical friction, causing physical damage, and that will do no good to you. And all the injuries we have with the shoulders mostly are coming from the perspective that we simply don't run the arms in that way that would accommodate the geometry of the joint and the mechanics of the joint. And we simply run it from the perspective where we are not activating enough muscles. The brain typically won't include the correct muscles in that or another activity if the perspective from which you start the movement is not right, is a little bit incorrect. That's why it's important to learn how to move the arms from the perspective of the balls. And you will see that in many different movements that it will be a little bit easier. It should be. So now let's try to see how we can move the arms, simple movements, in this way. But before, could you please watch a short ad? Good day everyone, my name is Trainer Maxim and I'm so excited to see you joining this course. Thank you so much. I've designed this program to help you develop better flexibility, mobility and strength of the body's most important parts. And we're going to do that through working towards elements such as side splits, front splits, pancake stretches, spinal bridges, and the open shoulders concept. So join me and let's see where this journey takes us. Thank you very much. Please do check out my course, The Fundamentals. You might find it interesting. Now let's do a very simple movement of the arm forward. So you're going to stand tall like this and simply move the arm forward through the movement of the humerus head, rotating back in an angle that is right in front of you, this way. The only thing you need to take care of during this exercise is the neutral spine and the open shoulders. Make sure that you're not crunching or arching while you're doing the movement of the arm, and your scapulas are staying stable, not going forward or back to facilitate the movement of the arm. The videos on the stable shoulders, open shoulders, I do have on my channel, as well as the video on the neutral spine. Please check it out. You'll find it in the playlist called Start Here. But other than that, you just place your mind into the humerus head, rotate the humerus head back, taking care of the spine and the shoulders, and just do 10 movements like this. So let's do it together. And for the simplicity's sake, I'm going to use the femur ball to represent the humerus bone, humerus, right? Because the femur head has its kind of handle here, convenient for me to hold. I'm going to hold it here for you. And we're moving the arm in this way, rotating the humerus head back 10 reps. Ready? And go spine neutral, shoulders open, and go 1, 2, rotate it back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and done. Very good. Try not to kick it. Go slowly so that you can focus on this, because if mind doesn't have enough time to focus, it will revert to the old pattern, and old pattern will be just swinging it up. We don't like this pattern. We, in the first place, are trying to change the old pattern, so give your brain some time to really focus. Go slowly if needed. Let's do it one more time on the other side here, and go neutral spine, open shoulders. Go 1, 2, good, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and done. Very good. Let's do it one more time. Same idea. Mentally grab the humerus head like this, rotate it back in that direction to move the arm up. Neutral spine, open shoulders, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest. Very good. The other one. The angle of the rotation of the humerus head right in front of you, because if it's sideways, then the bone of the arm will go sideways this way. Just keep it in mind. Let's do it one more time. The other side. Grab mentally the humerus head here. Arm, neutral spine, shoulders open, and go rotate it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no rush, 9, 10, and done. Great. Very important not to move the arm with the shoulder. That's why we need the stable spine and the open shoulders, so that instead of so that you can move the arm around the stable blade and not with the blade, because often we do this. Arm is going up and the blade floats back. Arm is going down, the blade floats forward. So please do keep it in mind. Neutral spine, open shoulders. The ball of the humerus rotates inside the stable socket of the scapula. Let's do the next one. Similar idea, only now we're going to move the arm back through visualization of the humerus head rotating forward. So stand tall, spine neutral, shoulders open. Visualize that your mind is grabbing the humerus head like this and rotates it forward around its axis to move the arm back 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. The other side. Do make sure that your spine stays neutral, especially upper spine extension, and shoulders open. The other side. Grab mentally your humerus head and rotate it forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. One more time. The other side. Keep focusing on the humerus head. Rotating forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. The other side. Humerus head rotates forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and done. Very good. If you are not sure that whether or not you're doing it properly, film yourself, pause the video, and make sure that you don't have this situation. When the arm is moved back and shoulder is collapsed forward, then if you continue this line will hit your jaw. It means that the muscles responsible for the movement of the arm back did not really do their job properly, because your arm was moved back by virtue of collapsing the shoulder blade forward, and because the arm, for the reason unknown, is attached to the shoulder blade, the arm went back. So those guys, the muscles of the arm that are responsible for the movement of the arm back, did almost nothing, because it's the shoulder that was collapsed by the tension in the biceps and the pecs, because the chest muscles and the biceps are attached here. They do pull the shoulder forward. And if we're not careful, if we're not keeping the shoulders in the neutral position, shoulder will collapse. And that jeopardizes the structure of the shoulder. So we're not moving the arm back relative to the shoulder blade. We're moving the arm back with the shoulder blade. And remember those sharp bones here, they're tilting forward, placing us in danger, especially when we do dips in this position. Shoulders completely collapse forward. We're risking the shoulder impingement with time. Not going to kill you right away, but not good. Instead, make sure that when you watch your video, you see this situation here. You see how my shoulder is staying in the back, so it's not moving, not in the back, in the open position. And the muscles responsible for the movement of the arm back perform their job nicely at 100%, because I moved the upper arm relative to the blade and not with the blade. My blade stayed here. And if you continue the line of the upper arm in this position, you see how this line will hit me somewhere around the ear, not my jawline. So compare this. 1, shoulder collapses, shoulder blade collapses forward, not good. And compare this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the arm is moving around this stable blade. Very important. Let's try to move the arm sideways. Before we do that, have a look one more time on these mechanics. So I'm grabbing the ball here, the humerus head ball, and I'm rotating it slightly back so that the humerus head goes slightly forward, rotates a little bit externally, and continues its movement up. See how the trajectory of the elbow becomes a little bit of parabolic, a little bit like this, semicircular kind of, and not strictly up, because you're placing your mind into the humerus ball, not humerus, I know it's femur, but humerus ball, and do this. 1, like here, 1, 2, and 3. Picturing that rotation back is happening in the external angle, because that's where your arm is going to be. That's where you want your arm to be. So that the rotation of the ball back happens not in this angle, but in this angle. As a result, the arm is going this way. 1, 2, and 3. Ready? So stand tall, make sure that your spine is tall, shoulders open, and I'm going to figure out how to show it to you with the bone. Let's go. Let's go. Rotate like this. Very good. And go. 10 reps. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Let's do the other side. You can do both arms at the same time, but since I'm holding my bone in one hand, I'll do the other side as well. And let's go. Rotate it. Rotate the ball back. 1, 2, back and sideways. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, spine tall, shoulders open. 8, rotate the humerus ball back. 8, 9, 10, and done. Very interesting observation here. You might have noticed, oh, okay, Maxim, so it means that we need to turn our wrist out. No, you don't need to turn the wrist out. because the wrist actually has amazing ability to rotate around the upper arm almost 180 degree without disturbing the upper arm. We have two mobile bones here. One of them is run by the biceps. That's how we can perform supination, right? Supination and pronation. By rotating those two balls, they're kind of crisscrossing like this, and that's how we rotate the hand. So the hand, the wrist, has quite a fair degree of its own mobility. So just because I turn the palm up doesn't mean that it has to be up like this. If you're with the weights, of course, that would be awkward to do it like this, not cool. So you still lead the movement with the rotation of the humerus ball back in an external angle. One, but your hand doesn't have to do this. You can easily do this. One. That's it. And that creates the stability. Now your forearms muscle engaged, your biceps engaged, a little bit helping you. So it will look like this with the dumbbells. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost imperceptible difference. Like if you don't know what you're looking at, you will not see anything. You'll be thinking that I'm simply leading my arms back, but no, sideways, sorry. In my mind, I'm leading my ball back, the humerus ball back sideways. So the upper arm does this one, but I'm coordinating the movement with my forearms and asking my forearms to maintain the position of the dumbbell facing down like this at all time. But still in my mind, I'm rotating the ball back and sideways so that I'm performing the movement in accordance with the shoulder geometry and mechanics, and it feels super simple and won't collapse my shoulders, my blades. Let's do it one more time. So I'm holding it like this and go rotate the ball back and sideways. 1, 2. You can keep the palm facing down at all time. It's going to be more challenging now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. Very good. So for now, feel free not to care about the position of the palm because it will take your focus away, and this movement is still novel to your brain. So focus entirely on tall spine, open shoulders, and rotation of the humerus head back and sideways. Don't mind the palm whatsoever. You will work on this later. And go. Rotate back, sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. I'm going to do one more set, but now with the dumbbells. 10, 10 to show you the view from the front and from the side. So from the front, it would look like this. I'm standing here, my mind right now in the rotation of the humerus head back sideways and keeping my palms facing the floor at all time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. Very good. And from the side, 5, 5 on each side, so you can see the difference, and or no difference, hopefully. 1, 2, 3. Rotate the heads back. 4, 5. Good. This side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So rotating my my humerus heads back and sideways, but keeping my palms facing down. Not like this. I can, but it's a different exercise. And done. Let's do the next one. Let's do the shoulder press with 2 dumbbells. So it will look like this. Standing tall, tall spine, shoulders open, and you're pressing 1, 2, 1, 2. From the side, 1, 2, 1, 2. However, it's very important to think correctly here. Again, it's not just a simple matter of bringing your humerus, the bone of the humerus, simply up or down. It won't go this way. So have a look at this. If I want this bone to go up, then I will rotate it back a little bit, back, external angle, and up. 1, If I rotate, if I try to think that, okay, the ball rotates forward and the arm goes up, then I have no range of motion here, because simply your humerus, your bone, is going to get stuck inside the joint. See, again, due to the structure of the joint, if you rotate the ball forward and move up, 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 it gets stuck here. Kind of you're trying to do this forward, up, and just simply does not go up. And if it goes in an angle forward. So that collapses your shoulder. If you think that the on the way up, on the sideways, the arm is going, the humerus head rotates forward, because it's in contradiction with the mechanics, with the geometry of the blade. So treat this movement as if you were raising the arm up. And we know if the arm wants to go up, where the ball rotates. The ball rotates back inside the sockets. And now we just rotate this ball in an extremely external angle, 90-degree back. 1, and that's your press. So from this position, rotate the ball back in an extreme external angle 1. And see how my arm is going this way. And this is the essence of the Olympic weightlifting, handstands, all the gymnastic skills, when you're bringing the arms by rotating the balls back and sideways, and they go behind your ears. But if you think that the ball rotates forward when you go up, like this, then you do this. 1. And you rotate the ball forward, unable to bring the arm back, because rotation of the ball forward causes what? Rotation of the ball forward causes the arms to go down and back. So you will be activating all the muscles that are in charge of this movement, down and back, your chest and etc. But at the same time, your brain wants to move the arm up, and will be trying to activate the muscles responsible for that. So now you have a clash of muscles with different purposes. And that's how you get stuck. And it has nothing to do with your immobility or with your tightness in the shoulders. It just has everything to do in the first place with how you perceive the movement, how well you know the structure of the joint, how well you know the structure and geometry of the bones. So let's try to do this in this way. So standing tall, spine tall, shoulders open, and you rotate the bone, the humerus heads back. 1. And on the way down, you rotate the heads forward, down. 1. And 10 reps. And go back, forward, humerus head back, humerus head forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and done. Very good. I know it's confusing for the first time. It will take you some time to practice. No worries, you will get it. One more time. On the way down, treat it as following. So when you go down, where the arm is going, the upper arm, in relation to your torso, well, the arm wants to go slightly forward, and if you continued, then the arm would go down, 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 and back. So it means that on the way down, there is only one movement of the ball, rotation forward. Rotation of the ball forward. So you need to perform this movement and accommodate the desire of the humerus head to rotate forward. Because again, if you rotate it back, you will get stuck, or your brain starts compromising and engaging the spine or anything else, everything will be collapsing. So let's do it one more time. A view from the front. 10 reps, standing like this. Rotate the humerus head back sideways. 1. Rotate the humerus head forward sideways. 2. Good. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rotate the humerus head back, forward 8, back, forward 9, back, forward 10, and done. Rest. Good. At all time, you're just rotating the humerus back to go up in the extreme external angle. The angle will be not here, because that would be this movement. You want it here. 1, 1, and to go down. Since you still want the upper arm to stay here, you rotate the ball forward, but in an extreme external angle, like this. 1. So here, forward, up, forward, up, and see how your elbow draws that parabolic trajectory. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, because it moves in accordance with the structure and geometry of the joint and its ball and its bones. Let's do it one more time. I'll show you the view from the front, from behind. So let's go here and rotate the heads back, 1, forward, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back, forward, 6, back, forward, 7, back, forward, 8, back, forward, 9, back, forward, 10, done. And this is the essence of all presses we do. Handstands, push-up press, the same idea. You don't perceive the push-up press as just simply go forward and back. Just like with the squats, you would like the elbows to be a little bit sideways so that the center of mass, in that case your chest, could sit a bit closer to the support point, to the hands. Otherwise, if it sits too far away, the torso will have no options but to lean back. And now you have a challenge. How would you hold this extreme angle? It's all on the triceps. So when you go from the handstand push-up from this position, you rotate the balls forward, extreme side angle, 1. And to press, you rotate the balls back, extreme side angle, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's it. And it will become simpler, the subject of the next video, one of my next videos. Okay, let's do the next one. And the final one, let's try to do the push-ups, just regular push-ups, because there are so many variations of the push-ups. There are wide push-ups, narrow push-ups for the triceps, for that, just regular push-ups I would like you to be able to do. We're going to address them from the perspective of the rotation of the humerus head inside the socket, just like we did during the previous exercise. So first let me demonstrate on the knees. Typically when we do the push-ups, we take this position and we think just simply bend the elbows, right? 1. And that is not how I want you to treat push-ups, not from the position of bending the elbows. I want you to focus first on the same thing, rotation of the ball forward in an external angle so that your arm, upper arm, would perform this movement. 1. You see how it's slightly parabolic trajectory of the elbow. Down and slightly up. 1. Good. So this way you're keeping the humerus head surface here, this eggshell-like surface, facing its designated surface inside the scapula, inside the scapular joint here. So compare these push-ups and you rotate the ball first to go down. You rotate forward, sideways, 1, and you went down as a result. So this is the push-up position. Rotate the ball forward in an external angle. So like this, 1, and that's your push-up. So that the center of the humerus head faces the center of its designated surface inside the scapula. So this one here, instead of bending the elbows, you think forward, sideways, 1. One more time, forward, sideways, 1. You see how my body naturally starts leaning tiny bit forward because it moves in accordance with the geometry of the shoulders, with shoulders mechanics, and from the low point to press back up. You're not thinking again straight, extend the elbows, not elbows because that will collapse everything. Not straighten the elbows. You think that the ball rotates back in the same external angle. 1. So forward external angle, rotates back external angle. And you will have this neutral spine open shoulders. So rotate the balls, the humerus heads, forward external angle, 1. Rotates back external angle, 2. Forward, forward, back. So why, when we press, we rotate the humerus head back. Well, because essentially the arm is doing this movement forward, up, right? And that corresponds to the movement of the arm this direction, exactly where it moves from here. So rotate the ball back. 1, that's your press. To go down, rotate the femoral head forward, external angle. To press, rotate it back, external angle. So your elbows are not moving in a straight line a little bit. They're kind of dancing in that parabolic trajectory, mini trajectory, keeping your distribution of mass constantly on the hands. So let's try to do 5. I'm going to do it from the plank position. So go here, look straight ahead, spine tall, shoulders open, and you think, rotate the humerus head forward, back. 1, forward, back. 2, forward, back. 3, forward, back. 4, forward, back. 5, and done. See, this way you're not exhausting the movement of the elbow right away. Because if you think bend the elbow right away like this, 1, well, yeah, you exhausted it, but your shoulder did not flex. The push-up activity is coming from the perspective that you're working with a shoulder flexion, shoulder extension, and the elbow flexion, elbow extension becomes a part of the push-ups and not the main moving part. Otherwise, in the push-ups, many times we're trying to just bend the elbows, 1, but the upper arm did not move anywhere, so it has to go back. But it can't because you're focusing on the elbows. You're focusing on the engagement of the biceps in the first place. 1, but the biceps attached here, so it would pull on the shoulders quite hard and collapse it forward. That's why many times you see at the gym those push-ups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. People just can't go lower because they try to bend the elbows and it is stuck. Since there is no focus on the flexion of the shoulder, there is no focus on the movement of the arm, upper arm, back around the stable shoulder due to rotation of the humerus head, right? Instead, you're focusing on the rotation of the humerus head, and you will have this 1. You see how my elbow is still 90-degree angle. So because it's 90-degree angle, I have a very solid support of the body at the lowest point. So my triceps is holding that isometric contraction with my biceps and other muscles, securing the angle of the elbow, so I can support my body weight, and it becomes extremely easy. So compare this one, elbow flexion, and we collapsing, typically like this, versus no elbow flexion. There is shoulder extension and shoulder flexion through the rotation of the humerus head forward or back. So let's start forward. 1, good, back. 1, good. 1 more time. Let's do 4 more. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Very good. And also notice that my stomach is not collapsing to the floor. That the only part that touches the floor is my sternum, the upper portion of the sternum, and not this, not my pelvis. Neutral spine, open shoulders, rotate the balls forward sideways, external angle, rotate the balls back sideways, push 1, 1, 2. Address it through the rotation of the balls, and it will become simpler because you'll be using the shoulder joint, the elbow joint, the wrist in a more effective way due to the right perception of the movement. Okay, let's do it one more time. Final, the view from the side, 5 reps, and we will be done. So let's go here. Neutral spine, upper spine extended as a part of the neutral spine, shoulders open, pushing the blades away, and go rotate the humerus heads forward, external angle, back 1, forward, back 2, forward, back 3, forward, back 4, forward, back 5, and done. Good. Give it a couple of times, try it, and you should feel that push-ups feel just different, more stable, more robust. If you really connect to the idea of the moving the arms in any direction you want through the rotation of the humerus heads. Pull-ups, the same idea. Push-ups on the bars. Whenever you move your arms, you just need to decide where the arm needs to go, planches, and accommodate the movement of the arm accordingly through the visualization of the movement of the humerus head and not the arm itself. Planches go this way. Pull-ups, the arm goes down and back. It means that the ball rotates forward external angle, and to go away, to go down from the pull-ups, you're rotating the balls back. 1, 2, 3. That will keep the torso stable. Boxing, the same idea. You're in the stance. The arm to punch goes where? Forward. So the ball, from the again up to you. You can uppercut. Then the ball is rotating back. You go from the height. Then the ball rotates forward to get 1 back, 1 back, 1 back. So rotate the ball forward, rotate the ball back to withdraw. If it's uppercut, rotate the ball back because the arm is going up, and to withdraw, rotate the ball forward. I know it's a bit confusing, but with practice, you will get used to this idea, and that idea will be incorporated quite easily into all other movements of the arms, and you will be very comfortable with this. But you have to pay attention to that. You have to keep visualizing of the rotation of this small guy against its surface, designated surface, and keep it this way at all time, no matter what the arms are doing. So we're done for today. Thank you very much for attention. I do apologize for a lot of explanations, but this topic is very important and quite a few things to explain here. So go and try it at the gym. Let me know how it went. And please do check out my course. I really worked hard for that, and I do believe that you can benefit from that course, the foundations. Check it out. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Go enjoy your day, guys and girls. Cheers.